It's Wednesday, December...
Wait, you started a little early.
Oh. Good morning. It's Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. And Dan's a little quiet this morning. He's not feeling great. He's a little sick to his stomach.
The video that I posted, "This is 40 Acres and a Fool," is my biggest fear. I've been practicing this monologue in my head for the last God knows how long. And no matter how much I do it, I still end up feeling horrible at the end of it. So here it goes. My biggest fear was not being outed as some sort of an abuser or a drug addict or any of those things, because I am not those things. So the concept of being labeled as it is nothing more than social stigma that is misunderstood, and most of the time the people that are on the recipient end of being the victims of this unlawful and immoral social stigma end up coming out on top. That's not at all what I was concerned with. Well, first and foremost, I want to address the fact that in the video, which is not meant for my boys at this age, but as they get older, it's important for everyone to understand that I have never in my life tried meth, crack, heroin, or anything worse or derivative thereof. And I am not a drug addict. I had Mallory testify under oath that she has only witnessed me engaging in a substance twice. And what you see on the video is coming out of my wife's coat pocket as a weapon against me. And my biggest fear was that people would realize that how much my wife actually hated me and how similar I was to my father, in that my mom hated my father.
Yes.
And that is my biggest fear, and this is why I feel terrible, and I have no idea why, rather than showing me love and compassion, that if someone felt, first and foremost, Mallory and I have been together for 25 years. The video that you watched was 3 years ago. It's in time order. So what that means is that fight happens after all these good times, after
Right.
Father's Day and everything,
Right.
and before the birthdays, and before we go to Martha's Vineyard. And first and foremost, she did admit that she wasn't telling me the truth regarding orgasm. But whether or not that's true or not is irrelevant. I was on the recipient end of a very healthy and amazing romance that I had with my wife for over 22 years, maybe 25. I believe it was 25. Obviously, the whole point of why this is so painful is that this was a premeditated plan, orchestrated in conjunction with her father and brother, in order to remove me from my children's lives. If adults want to separate legally from another adult, there's nothing wrong with that. In the videos, I continue to ask her to just say, hey, I would like a legal separation. Because during the time, what you don't see is the amount of times that she gets even more violent. I have to restrain her from hurting herself and hurting me.
Yes.
She then hurts herself and blames me for it, at which point where she says, choking me, I hurt my thumb. She hurts herself by striking me and saying that it's my fault, or striking the wall. And unless you watch this video, you don't really understand how difficult it is to raise a family, be a father, or exist as a human being, when on a daily basis, this is what I had to deal with. And
Yes, every day.
and one of the things that I'm concerned with is that people don't understand that this is YouTube, not real life. What Mallory takes out as, quote, her evidence is nothing more than evidence that she hates me and has no interest in me being a healthy, good father. Because anyone who actually sees this as a normal-minded human being will say, wait a second, why is this person weaponizing something that should be treated as either a disease or an addiction or some sort of a love and support?
Right.
Not a single intervention, not a single actual proof, because I wasn't and am not a cokehead. It's only
Coca-Cola.
No, I'm just not someone who abuses any substances, let alone an illicit substance like this. And I will point to my use of alcohol. I am not a drinker.
You're not. You are not.
And I'm not interested
you are
in
not a drinker.
An altered state of mind, because I'm already hyperactive.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that people have a reason to discredit me as a human, the less enjoyable the substances are. So what that means is I am accused of being drunk all the time when I'm not drunk. So it doesn't make me.
Oh.
And the reason for that is because people truly believe that a human being who acts differently than other human beings
is on a substance
and is open and honest and communicates. And I'm not loud. I am powerful in my words. So rather than understanding that, people just attribute that to me being on drugs. And I don't think that that's fair. And this video is not something I needed to release or wanted to release. I had to release it because that video is the end of my biggest fear, which is, hey guys, obviously Mallory was not in a state of mind where she is able to coherently, calmly, and speak the truth. No matter how much I tried to get her to calm down in the videos, as you can see, until she's able to achieve what she wanted to achieve, which is violence, instigated violence, as well as the fact that our children were in the house, and I'm trying to do the best I can to calm her down so we can just talk. And
just getting to the place of talking calmly.
It's virtually impossible. And rather than people understanding that Mallory would rather invent a story about phantom drug use rather than calmly sit down and say, I love you, and talk. And that I need to take responsibility for, because I thought that I can change her into believing that she loves me and she loves herself and she loves the family the way it is. But in reality, I was a sap and a fool, because I was the one that was being used, abused, and she was waiting for the right opportunity to remove me from my children's lives. And this really is...
And that acknowledgement of that fact is like so...
Yeah, she admits to, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to use what I have against you. And there's nothing you can do. I don't care who you show this video to.
Right.
Her saying that on video is a release, verbally saying that I can show the videos of her to anyone I want. But at the same time, right now, she is lying and saying that I don't give permission for these videos. She doesn't have the right to give permission or not give permission. I own these videos. These are evidences of criminal activity. This is also evidence of a desperate man who is doing everything he can to balance a very fragile home life with a completely unstable wife who on the outside looks absolutely perfect.
Totally.
And on the inside, how can someone work when they're dealing with that on a daily basis?
Almost impossible. It was impossible. Honestly, the amount of... I mean, when you start your day hearing that you're a piece of shit and then get 500 texts that you're a piece of shit, and then things that you did wrong, and then why aren't you making any money?
It's not
rinse,
just
repeat. Rinse, repeat.
Yeah, it's not just that, and then everything is amazing when Jamie comes over and in front of the boys, in front of anyone that's watching.
Right.
And those pictures I'm allowed to take and post without a problem. But the whole point of why this is the most powerful art piece, or whatever you want to see it, is I am the first person in the entire world who has the balls to say the truth. You have the President of the United States' son, who is an active drug user, not be able to say, hey, I have a very serious drug problem. I need to be around someone 24/7. And one of the reasons why I feel the need to constantly film content is that people can see that, hey, I'm not on any substances. I'm not feeling well right now.
Well, you're not allowed to be sick, God forbid.
I'm extremely sick. I have a fever.
You do.
And the only thing that makes me feel better is more cowbell. That's a SNL reference. It's not more cowbell. It's just that this video is going to go up immediately in order for people to understand that video is my biggest fear. The fear of recognizing how much my wife really hates me and how this has all been a setup.
It's painful. I mean, when it's
and I
really
understand that people that are judging, like judges and stuff, don't really understand that this is a setup on me, and she planned this and orchestrated this, and it's going to take a little bit of time for me to express the evidence and everything that I have. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, when you find out that the person in your life, I mean, I can speak from experience, is actively, on one hand, pretending to be married to you, and on the other hand, actively trying to destroy you, or get rid of you in your case, literally, you know, it's not just like, oh, I want to break up with you because we're not getting along anymore. This is, I want to hurt you. I want to destroy you. I want to destroy your ability to earn an income. I want to destroy your ability to be a father.
She admits to everything.
I want to destroy you. It's not, let's figure out a way to live the rest of our lives as co-parents and give our boys a good life. And like,
what's her motivation?
If you want to live the life you want to live, I don't want to live that life. The Zeitgesund or whatever. I'm gonna go live the life I want to live.
Yeah, we're adults.
That's it. Move on. Like, there's no reason just like, it's just, that's the part that one
of the things that, not to interrupt, but one of the things that's really disturbing is she continues to call me an animal. I'm a human being. Why am I an animal? What did I do?
Right.
What did I do? And she doesn't answer that question. She just keeps saying, I can't do this, I can't do this. And what she's trying to do is instigate an incident of violence. So then you can see, she says, I'm calling the police. And then she's staging the set.
Right.
Which is clothes thrown absolutely everywhere. We had an altercation. And that's exactly what transpires.
I know.
That's the point, that in that video, you can see her going through the cycle of blaming, then thinking about a plan, then initiating the plan, then trying to get me to hit her. Then when that fails, she hurts herself.
Right.
Then she destroys. First and foremost, everything fits her in her closet. She's in amazing shape.
Everything.
It's unbelievable.
But it's true.
And I have two boys that I obviously don't want that video to be seen, but they must understand how much their father loves them, and how in the past 4 years she continued to accuse me of being paranoid when I say, Mallory, you are planning to really do some horrible things that'll backfire. And she would call me paranoid. It's been 4 months since I've seen my kids, based on lies that she and her family sent to, you know, this video is all about me saying that I am not a drug addict. I don't know what she takes out. I don't know what she's shoving in my face and saying is cocaine. Someone needs to look and understand that that is her property, in her closet, in her jacket.
Right.
Like, someone needs to be logical and look at it from the legal perspective of possession is 9/10 of the law, and any human being that actually wants to help someone that's a drug addict would have flushed the drugs down the toilet or whatever. But the point of what I'm saying is that that's not what happened.
Right. It's definitely not what happened.
There's like this like perfect little mini drug kit that's taken out and said, I'm going to show this to everyone. And that's the shame that I have. It's like, I know my wife and I have a great adult life. I know which part she was lying about, but another man seeing that could be enraged, and after decades of making love can be like, what? How could you say that? And things like that. And I say the words, you've been replaced, in order for her to understand that I am not the bitch that she's accusing me of. I'm a man of code and honor. And my way of, quote, defending myself is honesty. It's honesty. If you don't want to do your job, or at least even be nice, and you want to run away from the kids, and you want to create all this, that's the whole point. In order to kidnap children, do the things she did, and then lie to a court and pretend to be a victim,
right,
you need to be in a very, very, very fragile mental state.
right.
Which, frankly, I don't think her support system gives a fuck about, because they've supported that. Whereas I've been screaming, my temporary restraining order was filed first for domestic violence. That's first and foremost. At no time has she ever filed or accused me of anything up until I said I couldn't handle the beatings anymore.
It's true. They've just always wanted to paint you
Second,
as the bad guy.
the only thing that I've asked for was anger management, and there was some other thing. It was anger management and psychiatric evaluation. And rather than doing that, Mallory lied about absolutely everything, and she has weaponized my love of my children, which you can clearly see. Say what you will about me.
Her weapon of choice. Her weapon of choice is to...
But any human being that uses children as a weapon should never be allowed to be responsible for their care. That's a very basic understanding of anyone in the medical profession. I have never done anything like this. I would never even think of doing anything like this.
Never.
I care about my kids too much.
I never did it once. I never. And the whole time, no matter how mad I was, no matter how whatever, I was always see the kids, take the kids, do anything you want. The fact that you
That's a good mom.
kids,
That's a good mom. That is someone.
Like, he's still your dad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'd sit.
But
like,
if you look at the video, she says, my kids.
Yeah.
Like that is not a mentally healthy human being. How am I supposed to say that and also say that I'm not medically licensed to diagnose anyone, nor am I diagnosing anyone?
Right.
But when a human being states, I am suicidal, I want to kill myself, no, I cannot leave them alone. No, it's not responsible to ignore the situation. What I'm doing is exactly the right thing to do.
Right. You are.
And I'm documenting it so that it can't be misconstrued in courts. And when she has stated, I was only able to record 1 or 2 times of her saying that she wants to kill herself. She almost jumped out of a car on YouTube, and the judge did not see anything wrong with that.
No.
She continued.
Opened the car door.
She continued to allow. So God forbid if something happened to my kids, what would the judge say?
Right.
This judge would be criminally liable.
Yeah. 100%,
Criminally liable.
100%. That did not care at all about the fact that she opened the car door.
That's the reality of the sickness of our society that would use a man who does the same thing as a police officer by documenting something that is for the protection of both parties and say, no, that's a weapon. We will give Miss Reese's credit for trying to hide her abuse, and you exposing her abuse is the guilty person. It's like being arrested as a cop for wearing a body camera.
100%. 100%.
So let's wrap this video up and
Yeah.
let's get this live immediately. And all videos for today we're going to be posting immediately, because I don't think that people really understand how serious the situation is. This has been one of the most amazing and uplifting and painful and regretful moments of my entire life. And that is why I believe that this is true art. It requires sacrifice. Do you believe that people are using their brains and their hearts?
You have given your sacrifices an understatement.
Next
Your
time
art.
somebody wants to fuck around and set up their spouse because of these videos, people will think twice.
Oh,
Think about the
yeah.
thousands of millions of lives of humans that I've positively affected by publishing myself and, unfortunately, my wife publicly.
Yeah.
My name is Dan Rhesus, and what you see is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I will tell you that I deny any of this drug use or alleged drug use, because without actual evidence, what you have is hearsay. It's not admissible in court, and it's lashon hara, and it makes no sense whatsoever after decades and decades of positive relations without a single mention of harassment,
Right.
assault, or drug use. I love you, boys. Dad's coming. Happy birthday, Drake, in 2 days. I'm going to do everything I humanly can to be with you.